Take me on the go, but in your stereo. Sharon LaRose knows the scoop. Podcast is on.
Greetings
Podcast.
and welcome to Sharon LaRose Knows the Scoop podcast. Yay! So I have a very special guest for this episode, my mother Kelly. Yay! So this episode we're going to be talking a little bit about grief. But before we begin, I have this one affirmation card that I want to get started. This card says, difficult times are a part of my journey and allow me to appreciate the good in life. So I agree. We have to go through some hard times to appreciate the good. Would you agree?
Yes, I agree. Definitely.
So with grief, in life we grieve. When we grieve, we could grieve a lost loved one or a relationship. And they say there's 5 stages to grief: denial, anger, bargaining, being depressed, and then finally acceptance. Now with grief, I would say you don't get over it. I feel like you can move forward in life. What do you feel about grief?
Yeah, I mean, you don't really get over it. It just gets less over time.
What is something, okay, so for instance, one of the things that I want to talk to my mom about that I feel is interesting about her too, when it comes to her love life, we're going to start it off with a bang, is that all the people, the males that she has had a relationship with, who she's loved, have all passed away. I almost gonna get teary-eyed saying that, because yeah, like my stepdad, for instance, he passed away from blood cancer, right?
Yes. He had multiple myeloma. It's a blood cancer.
And he treated you like a queen, right? And so how did you feel when you lost him?
Yeah, I was sad. I mean, I got to the point where, being home by myself, I didn't feel right. I felt lonely.
So what did you turn to make up for his loss?
Actually, I started going to the movies a lot. Doing movie views.
Going on solo dates?
Yeah, I'd just go and I wouldn't have to pay for them. They would be free movies, and I'd just give my opinion on the movie before it came out.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. And then the most recent person was a male that you were dating, and he passed away from COVID, and you wanted to marry him, but, he passed away. So how did you feel about that?
Yeah, I was really sad about that. Because, yeah, I loved him a lot. But, he moved away. So, I mean, we were still friends. We would talk on the phone. But, all of a sudden, he passed away when COVID came around.
And then the very most recent one was this year. God called my dad home on Martin Luther King Day of this year, 2024. How did you feel because I got the call while I was at work, and I went running to the bathroom to cry, because that's just, I felt a little sadness, and I felt a little anger, because I did try to communicate with him in the end, and the home that he was in Georgia, they wouldn't let me speak to him. They never brought the phone, they never answered the phone, so it created a little bit of anger in me, because I was like, I didn't get to communicate with him in the end. And there's so much things that I want to talk to him about. So I feel my stages of grief were a little bit of sadness, a little bit of anger, and a little bit of depression. But when my siblings mailed some stuff to me of his ashes, his belongings, I felt a little bit of closure. And I got to watch his funeral online, so I felt a little bit of closure. How did you feel when I called you to tell you he passed away?
Yeah, I was kind of sad because I had knew that he had a couple of heart attacks. So we really didn't know how long he was going to last after that.
But I mean, to know that all your lovers and all the people you once loved have gone to see the King, gone with God. That's a hard feeling to deal with.
Yeah.
If and when you decide
not so much, only the lovers. It's just a lot of people around me.
have a lot of people pass away.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have a lot of tattoos on your legs to commemorate a lot of our past loved ones.
Yes.
What are some of the tattoos you have?
I have like a bird on my right leg, lower ankle area for your sister.
Okay.
And then for my husband on my left lower leg here.
Okay. So I wrote down some questions that I just wanted to ask you. You can choose to answer them if you want to. So one of the questions I want to ask you, before I preference these questions, my mom was just recently diagnosed with, I guess, stage 1.
Yeah. It's slow going. It's T-cell lymphoma or low-grade T-cell lymphoma.
So she was just diagnosed with cancer. So I have been in heavy prayer about that, but I know that you're strong and you're a fighter, and I feel you're going to pull through. And I'm happy that it's in the beginning stages to where they can, with the technology and medicine we have these days, that you can beat it. Going into these questions, I just want to say that I'm a positive person and I feel like she's going to pull through, but these questions are just hypothetical. So with that being said, the first question is, if the doctor said you only had 6 months to live, what would you like to do in life that you haven't done already?
6 months?
6 months to a year to live. What would you like to accomplish or do before to leave your legacy? What would you like to do that you haven't done?
Yeah, I had been thinking about that. Financially, I can't really do a whole lot. But maybe probably retire and, have more time with family.
Okay, tell me something I'd be surprised to know about you.
Wow, you pretty much know a lot about me. You know my work history. I like fishing, you know that. Camping.
So nothing I'd be surprised to know?
No, you pretty much, I'm pretty open, so.
Okay, random question. What attracted you to my dad? What made you interested in my dad?
He liked to dance. And so did I. And I was at a club, and he asked me to get on the dance floor, and we just danced, sweat up a storm.
Is there anything you regret not doing in your life? Like dreams that you've had, do you regret not going after any other dream that you've had in your life?
Yeah, I always wanted to own my own business, but I really couldn't get the funds up to do it.
What kind of business?
I wanted to be in real estate.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to flip houses. I was interested in doing that. I took the course, but we couldn't financially afford, to buy the houses.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's actually pretty good. What do you feel is the meaning of life?
The meaning of life?
Yeah. What are we here for? What do you feel we're put on this earth to do? Or what do you feel your purpose here on this earth is?
Mine was helping other people.
Oh, that's a good one. I
was always, helping people who needed help, because I like to work with my hands, so I would be there for them to work on whatever they needed.
That's a good one. I feel the same way. What makes you feel excited to live? What makes you keep going every day?
just that I have family to look forward to.
Okay. What do you want to do in your retirement?
I wanted to travel. I wish I could afford to do that.
Travel where?
Like when you were young, how I used to like go camping from different states and look around, tour.
But I mean, like overseas, like any like overseas
Oh,
locations.
as far as overseas, I'd like to go to Italy. I want to go to the Vatican.
Oh yes, I would like to go to Italy too.
Tour the Vatican.
Because Spain, you went to Spain.
Yes, and that wasn't too far away.
If you could share with me one life lesson, or to me or to your granddaughter, what's one life lesson you want to pass down?
Always depend on yourself. Don't depend on anyone else.
Ooh, that's a good one. I second that. I agree. That's a good one.
Because, people will let you down.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. If you could call your younger self on the phone, what advice or knowledge would you say to the younger you? Bring, bring, the younger Kelly.
Take better care of your body.
In what way?
Because I played a lot of sports and it messed my body up. So better exercising, better paying attention to how your body's acting.
Okay. Those are good answers. Okay, those were all my questions. And so I have what I like to call the fish bowl round, where I shake these up and pick some random topics for us to talk about. So shake it up, stir it around, and let's see what's the first one comes out. Okay. Okay, this topic was about loyalty. So loyalty is giving, showing constant support of a person or individual in friendship, romantic relationship. And so, for instance, so being loyal and doing things for people that won't do the same for you in return. Have you had people in life that you've been loyal to that haven't shown you the same in return?
Yeah, that situation comes to mind. You know how I always said that, I was there to help people, right?
Yeah.
So, I had this one friend that I've known since we were like 7 or 8. And she's an adult now. And she needed somebody to take her to San Francisco Airport. So I did it. And to get there on time, I had to speed a little bit. And I ended up getting a ticket. And she didn't help me pay for that ticket. She never did.
That's messed up. But did you ask her to pay? Did you say that you should help me pay because I got you there on time?
Yeah. But she never did.
Did you remain friends with her after that or no?
No.
Because she didn't hold up to her end of the friendship. Like it was almost like she used you and she was just like, well, that's your problem.
Right.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
That's not okay. Let's do one more of these and then we'll go back to talking about these. So shake these up. Let's see what the next one is. Oh, it's one of the stickers on the back of the card says, don't be afraid to say no. Being a people pleaser, saying no, and setting boundaries. Would you say that you've been a people pleaser a lot of your life? Or do you find it hard to tell people no? Or at one point in your life, did you find it hard to tell people no?
Yeah. I still don't tell people don't do it. I still do it.
So you're a people pleaser?
Yeah, I'm pretty much a people pleaser.
Why? Like you don't want to set boundaries and tell people no? Do you feel because you're worried that they won't like you anymore? That you won't have friends if you set boundaries and tell people, no, I don't want to do that for you. No, I don't want to attend your party. No, I don't want to go do that favor for you.
Oh, that's just me because I find that, I'm not going to say any names, but like the last subject we talked about, even though I do it, people don't do it back. So if I do something for someone, and let me give you an example. Okay, like I will call a person or text them, and they won't text me back or call me back for days or months.
Yeah, and I have one person in mind that I think I know who you're talking about. Like I said, we won't say names, just in case they watch this episode. But I get it, and that's not right. That's definitely not right. Especially because you've been there for that person, and I mean, just in general as a human being, when you text somebody, if you're busy, just say that. Like, don't leave somebody on scene, and then you know they seen the message, and then they don't write back. That's so rude and inconsiderate. So, okay, let's do one more. I like these. I wrote these from just different things that I've seen around the internet, or that have been on my mind, or that I've gone through. Okay, this will be the last one. What areas of your life would you want to improve besides finances? Because that's across the board. We all want to improve our finances. But what else would you want? What was it? What areas of your life would you want to improve?
Well, I've been trying to improve it for years. I actually don't like where we live at, and I'd like to move.
Okay. That's a big one, and I agree. All right. I second that notion. Okay, so back to the topic of grief. So we've equally both lost a lot of loved ones, and just most recently, my dad, like God called him home this year. And so for me, I'm feeling conflicted because I'm like, okay, God just called my dad home, and then you want to diagnose my mom with cancer. So I am feeling conflicted because I was like, no, not two parents dealing with, like, I don't know. I still feel flustered. I can't even like formulate the words for it to come out right now. How are you feeling? I don't know if anybody's asked you that in a while. Like, how are you feeling? You're gonna be off of work a whole month and a half, and your job made you feel loved, gave you a party, got your flowers, and did great things for you. But after all that's said and done, how are you feeling emotionally and physically?
Well, when people look at me, they know I'm different because I'm not smiling as much as I used to. And it's because
do you feel like you are strong enough, like you're gonna make it?
oh yeah, I do, but I had a smile on my face all the time because I guess in my mind I didn't think about death at all. And I felt like I was going to live for a long time. And I guess it's kind of like a wake-up call that, yeah, you can.
Wow, Mom. Physically, how are you feeling?
Well, I feel okay, actually.
The few people that I've told that you have cancer, will tell you their first reaction is, "Oh, she's gonna lose all her hair." I said, "Well, she already shaved her head, so she's, that's not a problem." And so a lot of my, people I work with, everybody said that they're sending prayers for us on this journey, together, because they want me to stay strong. Every time I talk about it, everybody's just like, "Oh, it's going to be fine, it's going to be fine." And I know that because we're believers in God. And I know that God is a miracle worker. And I know that, I know that He's a healing God. He's an awesome God. So I know that, that He's going to make things all right. It's going to be a tough battle. And we're warriors. And so I know that we can get through this together. Um, what do you have anything else you want to say about grief and about what you're going through right now? Do you feel you need to be comforted more? Do you feel like there's something you need that you're not getting?
No, actually, I don't. Until I start the treatment.
How are you preparing for us to go to these treatments tomorrow? Like mental, physically, you're going in with positive thoughts like, I'm going to beat this because tomorrow's treatment's going to be 7 hours. So, like, what is your mindset going into this? Like,
I hope my body's strong enough to handle it.
and does it make you weak over time every day so you could still enjoy life?
Yeah.
Do you, with this treatments, did they say that you're going to be bedridden, or did they say you're going to just want to be in bed? Like,
No,
what
they
did the
said
doctors say?
It just depends on, it's a person by person thing. You know?
Everybody's different.
Yeah.
So some people can be out and active, and some people might be bedridden.
Yeah. That, tired. Real tired.
Okay.
Because I guess it affects your immune system.
Okay. Well, I'm just in heavy prayer. That's how I'm getting through it. And I know, and when I pray, I always say, God, I know you're a miracle worker, and it's in your hands, and what's meant to be will be. And this has got me thinking about my will. My will, if something happens to me, like for my daughter. So, what are your wishes? Like, what do you want to happen with if God forbid something did happen? Like, what are your wishes?
I have been researching it, and I don't really need any paperwork because I just have you. So everything goes to you. You will handle everything.
That's wild, because your husband passed away. My dad passed away, because they always say next of kin and all that type of stuff. That's wild to think about. Like, it is hard to think about death and our will and testament and what we want. Do you want to be cremated? Do you want to be buried? Like, I don't even know those special requests of yours.
Yeah, cremated is fine.
Do you want your ashes spread? Or do you want to stay in the urn?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can spread them in the forest. Put them under a tree or something.
Okay.
So a tree could grow.
That's cool. Yeah, grief and death, and speaking of that, it is a hard topic. And for anybody else going through this out there, I pray for your healing and for you to be strong. And my condolences to anybody who has lost anyone recently in your family or your friends. Grief is a tough subject to tackle, but let's end it with one more question out of here. I like this. Okay, this says, anything that costs your peace is very expensive. Ooh, I love that. I totally agree. Anything that costs your peace is very expensive. Peace of mind and having peace and having peace of mind is precious. Nobody wants to have war in their life. Nobody wants drama. So what does that say to you, Mom? Anything that costs your peace is very expensive. How do you interpret that?
You wouldn't think so, but before Charles passed away, he knew that I wanted to go to Starbucks, and it got to a point where it was too expensive. I was counting pennies, but I love my Starbucks, and he told me if we were going to be together that I had to limit it or stop getting it. And that was my peace. I mean, out of everything, I work hard. That's all I wanted in my life was getting Starbucks.
That sounds so simple. But I mean, and that's good. My piece, I think I love to take walks and to paint, do arts and crafts, sing, write poetry, and write songs and stuff. That's my piece. So when I don't get to do those things, yeah, that's my mood isn't the best. So I definitely enjoy those things. Well, is there any last words you want to say about grief and how you deal with it? Do you go into prayer? Do you meditate? Do you exercise? Like, what do you do?
Well, like when Thomas was in, the aftercare place, just reading the Bible and praying. And I mean, I was there when he left his body, so, I mean, I was happy he was going to a better place, but not happy because I was still here.
Well, don't say that, Mom. Don't say that. I mean, yeah, that was sad to see him go like right in front of us. That was tough. And when I think about his battle with cancer, how I remember I came home one day and he had a bloody nose and it was just, he lost all his motor skills. He was able to cook, clean, brush his teeth and do all that couldn't do any of that anymore. So that was so hard to see. And that's what I'm worried about. I'm just like, but his was at a rapid ending of his.
Yeah.
Yours is at the beginning, so I don't feel like you're gonna go through losing your motor skills or things like that.
Mm-hmm. No, with him, they diagnosed him 1 year and he passed away pretty much the same time the following year.
That was so rapid. It was rapid speed. It was like in increments. Just to see how he was so good. He was going for cooking and being happy to just not being able to do anything anymore. So that was really sad. And that's to the point where I was like, I was so happy when you told me that they said it was at the beginning stages. And it's, everybody I talk to keeps giving me the positive, oh, they're going to get it. No problem. It's going to be easy. She's going to survive it. They were lucky she's got it in the beginning because everybody is like, oh, the technology and the medicine these days, stage 1, oh, she's good. Luckily, they got it in the beginning. That's what everybody keeps telling me.
Yeah, she told me it's slow growing because comparing from 1 month to the next, the patch didn't change. So that's why she's giving me the treatment she's going to give me, where it will focus on those proteins that are growing out of.
Are they trying to put you on a special diet or saying that you can and can't eat certain foods or?
I'm supposed to see a nutritionist, but she's not scheduled until after I've had the
But you're already eating pretty good and your appetite's changed where you're eating a little less.
Yeah, I eat a lot less than I used to.
So, I mean, I wonder what the nutritionist is going to say because you're already I
already like all the healthy stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So apples and plums and peaches. I eat all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's what I thought. All right. Well, I thank you guys for tuning in to Sharon LaRose Knows the Scoop podcast. Again, this is my mom, my special guest, Kelly, and I will be having her on a later episode where we could say, yay, she beat cancer. I can't wait. I'm already thinking in my mind that's going to be a celebration. But thanks for tuning in. Be sure to leave a comment and let's have a fun conversation in the comments. Any words of encouragement, I would appreciate. Any advice. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Here, my mom's getting her infusions. And today it's a 7-hour process, right? That we're going to be here. Right. Just ready for war. We're going to beat this cancer. She's just ready for battle.